Alright. We're just making more baits because when I started taking the pictures of all of them for building a website, I didn't like the way they looked. And I was only saving 3 to take the picture of, and then I was only saving 1 to fish with, and now that I gotta retake all the pictures, I gotta remake all of them because I don't have enough. So I already got some stuff done. Like all that over there I got done. So all I'm doing is making more for pictures for the website and getting some that I lost or whatever. Like when I was out fishing, pan fishing, I lost one of these dusters, so I made a new one. And I need 3 for the pictures for on the website. So with me not having enough, I gotta remake them all. But it's been going pretty quick, so. I have 2 colors in the microwave, antifreeze and spiced watermelon seed. And then after they come out, spiced green pumpkin will go in there. But I gotta clear out all my injectors and get them ready. I'm only gonna do this for about an hour, so. Seeing how well a unwarned late night live stream goes. If this goes well, then I'll start putting out warnings before I do this. If nighttime does better. All depends on what does better. Luckily, I don't have to redo any of my dual injections because those I don't remelt because I wouldn't get anything back out of them. When I remelt everything else, I still have the whole remelt bucket, so if I would get an order, I don't have to depend 100% on having more plastisol right away because I don't have any more yet. Near future, I'm getting a 5-gallon bucket, so I mean that's what I've always gotten, but I need a new one. Alright, there's still 2 minutes left on that one. Still give people time to join before I start doing stuff. Oh yeah, now we got people in here. So if you guys want to share this to anybody or anything like that, please go ahead. Still got a minute and 30 left until I'm doing something, so share it to as many people as you can before I start doing stuff. That way you don't miss anything. Anybody want to put in chat, that way I know if that works? Or comment, whatever word you want to call it. Live chat, I think is what it's called. If you want to put something in there, that way I can tell if it's working. Somebody out of the 4 people, or all 4, put something in chat, please. And if there's more, I apologize. Now there's 5. Somebody put something in chat. Hi, whatever. It don't have to be anything long. It just has to be, it could even be a space bar. There we go. Thank you to Samuel. Thank you to Samuel. There we go. So chat is working. I've had issues with that before. So we got 2 colors in the microwave that are coming out in 15 seconds, and then we got spiced green pumpkin, which is just a green pumpkin with small green flake in it, black, both sizes of black, and small string flake black. It's not a good angle. There we go. But that will be going in there now, as long as one of these are melted enough. Alright, the other one almost is. Alright, so that one will be ready. This one's not. I don't even know if this one's melted. But this is spiced watermelon red. Red seed. Whatever. I don't have... I think it's going to be spiced watermelon something to do with red. But... Alright, so this is doing well. We got 9 people, and I didn't give out a warning before doing this, so... Right there it is. It's kind of half goo right now. Not fully remelted. And I haven't been degassing any of these because they're for my own personal use and just to get a picture for website building. So as long as they don't look all mixed and mangled, because when I send them out, they're not going to be all damaged. But like, this was not degassed, as you can't see anything in it that's bad. That's also because these are remount pucks that have been degassed before. So I basically just let all the bubbles cook out of them. I don't think I have anything else I need to start right off the bat here. I'm trying to stay focused on big baits so far. I might have to switch over to small ones, like crappie size baits, if I want to do another color. I might do another color at the same time, but most I've done at one time was 4 colors, so, and it actually worked out pretty well. For using all 4 of the same molds, worked pretty well. So were any of you watching the live stream yesterday that I did? Alright, now we got changeable antifreeze, which is not a color you can buy. You can make it, but so let's get this stirred. Changeable antifreeze is phthalo, I don't know how you say that, phthalo blue from Lureworks, emerald green from Lureworks, and a little bit of Scumpernog. The emerald green I think is 8 drops, 40 phthalo blue. This is all for 1 cup. My camera's shaking, I don't like that. And then 4 Scumpernog. Why is that shaking? There we go. Now it's not. Okay. So the bubbles just need to cook out. So it basically just sits while it's still hot while I work on everything else. And then all the bubbles will rise to the top. And then I'll stick it back in for 30 seconds once they're all at the top. And they'll pop because it gets heated back up. And the ones that don't pop, I stir it slowly on top, push them to the edge, and put the injector down in the bottom. Because all the bubbles are at the top, so when you're down in the bottom, it slowly pulls all the bubbles down, and usually you have enough to run for a while with it. And we'll be doing a lot, so might as well start closing molds now. My ecto crawl is a little too hot. So that is the 3.4-inch Angling AI ecto crawl. This is the 5-inch Angling AI stickworm core shot without the core shot rods. And if you're unfamiliar with a core shot mold, it is just a mold with these little lines, and there's a rod that goes down through the center. So you can make like a clear shell, then you pull the rod out, put the shell back in, and inject another color. So you can have like clear with blue glitter, and then chartreuse line going through the center with no glitter. There's a lot of things you can do with that. I'll have to get some out here in a second. And the ones I'm going to get out are all glitter. There's no pigment in it. There's none in the core, none in the outside either. So here's that antifreeze already. It hasn't been long sitting out. We're going to get our Ned Leech out too. Epic Bait Molds 3 1/4-inch Ned Leech. And I C-clamp these, but I put cardboard in between it because I don't like destroying my shiny mold. Especially not an Epic Bait Molds mold. Alright. We have another color in the microwave I gotta pull out here, which is the spiced watermelon, and then the spiced green pumpkin can go in once I get this mold clamped up and it actually starts working. There we go. Alright, so here's that, which is still not melted the whole way, but stirring it will help it. So it's more goo now than anything, but it just needs another minute for my microwave. Don't take the times I use and put them in yours, because not all microwaves are the same. We're going to do this 4-inch curly tail worm. It's from wherever in the world that company's from. It's on Amazon. So if you want one of those molds, go on Amazon. My epic bait mold since Christmas. Well, my holiday worm, 2 of my holiday worms since Labor Day or Thanksgiving time, somewhere around there. Last Thanksgiving and last Christmas. Yeah. 17 people. Thank you to you all who are in this. And if there's more that I can't see, if you're like 30 seconds behind or a little more, it sometimes tells me that you're not in it, but you are. It's just like that. Or if my service or Wi-Fi drops out. Alright, the bubbles need to rise in that one. Antifreeze is going to go back in for 30 seconds. That way we can inject that. And start pulling baits out of molds. So does everybody like this? I started making my own, so I originally watched Baker builds on airbrushing. That's the first thing I did. And then, which I still do airbrushing. Then I saw Fishing and Stuff, I think. He took these little molds, kind of like this, but they were little crappie molds, and took like store-bought baits, melted them down, which is originally what I was going to do. Then I saw World's Fishing make his own mold, and then he used this thing called Plastisol, which I had no idea what that was. So I kept watching him and figured out how he made it raw, and it was actually way more cost-effective to make it that way. And then just saved a butt ton of money, because they say you can get into it for $500, but if you really want to get what you want, I would say $1,000. But all those bubbles are pretty well gone. Far enough gone for me. So there was the Ned Leech. I have the Ned Crawl too. There goes the worms. And then the Ecto Crawl. And maybe some curly tail worms. If I have enough. I think I do. Oh, maybe not. Yeah, I didn't have enough for that. But we will be able to demold those here in a little bit. Clean out my injector while it's still hot, which will help it melt. I don't advise doing that because it's a good way to burn yourself. But when you're trying to keep stuff moving, it's effective. 19 people, that's the most I've ever had. Even though YouTube says the most I had was 200, that's because that was the injector, not me. Every time somebody blinks out and then comes back, it counts it as a different person. Which doesn't bother me, because that helps me, but... So 3 minutes should get the antifreeze warmed back up. Geez, 21. Thank you to you all who are watching this. So putting that in for 3 minutes will get the antifreeze heated up a little bit more, which is in the way back corner, and then it'll get the green pumpkin started. So the Ecto Crawl is still really hot. I think I can do the leech. I have a little thing of water too. If they're not set up, I'll stick them in cold water. Alright, so here you can kind of see how it's like green, blue, purple. The leech is one of the ones that works the best in this color. So here we go on a demold. So just this like dark blue, purple, and then you take it out. I can't tell. I think that one might have an air pocket, but I don't have enough light. Let me get light. Then it has the green, blue with the light, which works in the water too. So now all I'm going to do is pull off the best 3, because I didn't degas this, so there is best ones out of this. Just need them for picture purposes. Then for my own fishing. If it was sent to one of you guys, then it would be made better, but... Alright. There's that remount. Here comes the worms. And it also has black flake in it. Small, 15 thou hexagon black. Alright, worms are definitely going to need water bath because they're warm. And just same thing with the worms. They look way more purple. The worms do. Probably because they're a thicker body. Just going to throw them in a little container that's cold. Cold water. Probably should have said water. A cold container ain't going to do too much. Except maybe make one side of them cold. Alright, so that's hot. Really hot. Ouch. But there's the ecto crawl. Well, good thing these are picture purposes, because that has a generous air pocket. They both do. This is why we degas stuff. Alright. So the ecto crawl needs to... This is when I wish I had cold plates, or cool plates. That affected the antifreeze way more than anything else for some reason. Good thing I didn't burn that. So now I'm gonna... Oh, one of those had water on it. Yeah, don't throw water in plastisol, especially hot. It will pop and shoot. And apparently one of those runners or whatever had water on it because it started popping. Then when you mix it, it's even 10 times worse. Yeah, so that got really warm for some reason. I thought I put it in the cool corner, but apparently I didn't. So that is going to sit aside for a little bit. Then we still got our 4-inch curly tails, which I'm pretty positive didn't turn out, so don't expect too much on this. Yeah, they didn't. That's all we got. There wasn't enough in the injector. Will be enough on round 2, should be. Earlier it was way more fun when I had like 1 3/4 cup of plastic, because I could just do all the molds in one shot and get it done way faster. Okay, so that one needs mixed. That needs in for a minute. So next will be watermelon red. Spiced. Spicy watermelon red. Not minty, but spicy. Alright, so that needs about a minute and a half. You'll learn, so if you just start making baits or whatever, you'll learn how to judge it. Like, I don't even use thermometers anymore. I can just tell by, if I take the cup and go like this and how loose it is, I can get a good idea on what it's like, temperature-wise. Which is fine as long as you're not, like, constructing a Picasso with a swim bait mold or whatever, where you need precise temperatures and all that stuff. And I don't even have a swim bait mold. Well, I mean, technically I could use my big musky swim bait, but to make a Picasso. All I know is that's a fancy art. I don't even know what it looks like, but some sort of fancy art term. Alright, that got rid of all those bubbles. Oh, but I don't have it ready for injection yet. So we'll be doing the same thing here. With the ecto crawl, Ned leech, and the worm. Not the curly tail this time because I have, I'm pretty sure, even a less amount of plastic. There we go. So those two are ready. Let's get the leech ready. If I remember what direction to unscrew this. A more efficient way to do this is get yourself an air vise, but oh, come on. Don't be stupid. It's only on camera. Alright. Got our molds ready, our injectors ready, our colors ready. Now it's ready. Alright. There's the leech. Which, in case I didn't say the right measurement earlier, that's 3 1/4 inch leech. And I don't even think I'm getting the ecto crawl out of this. No. Misjudged by a lot. Alright, so there's way less plastic for that one. That's one of those that's going to be painful, doing all these molds in it. Constantly reheating it. That's when this can get a little boring. Come on, get off my finger. There we go. Okay, just topping off the worm mold. Ow! There was a hot spot on something that just melted to my finger. But there's as much as we got in the ecto crawl. That was it. As far as I know. Yeah. So we'll get this color ready, and if those molds aren't ready, we'll just clamp up new molds and... Ouch. There we go. Alright, that's almost ready. That now needs 30 seconds. There's that color. That was kind of out of focus, but... Now we're going to demold the watermelon red worms. That was for the 4-inch curly tail worm. I get my plastic from Dead On Plastics, and my injectors from Bass Tackle. This mold swelled because of the heat. There we go. There is some spiced watermelon worms. Of course, that would have fell. Why not? One of the little like wing nuts that was on this mold just went flying across the floor. Those can go in water too, they're still pretty warm. Now if you're on like a hot summer day making baits, you want to change your water multiple times because it'll just be room temperature and it basically will take the same amount of time that your mold is to cool. And I wear my gloves the whole time in summer, even though my hands sweat because my molds are 4,000 degrees. Because the garage is hot, plastic's hot. Oh, these are the leeches. You're welcome for the answer to your question. That junk out of there. Hi. There we go. Alright, so we're just going to pull all those off. Throw 3 back. Keep 3. Those don't need anything. They can just be thrown up onto the, or somewhere to cure. They don't even need to cure, but it's not sunny. It's dark, so I can't take pictures. Alright. So we're going to do those in some new molds anyway. The green pumpkin. Just going to let that air out a little bit. Main reason I do that is just to make sure I don't burn it when I heat it up for another 30 to get some of those bubbles out of there. Sometimes if I'm trying to do something fast, I'll do that and get some of the temperature out and kind of reset it. Because I mean it's warm in there, so I'll get it cooled down. That way when I heat it up again, it's not overheating it. If that makes any sense. We'll do it in my favorite mold for this color, the Ned Crawl 2.5 inch. From Epic Bait Molds. Hey. All right. So that's got to move out of my way. That's got to go in for 30 seconds. And we need another mold to do this in, so we'll just do the Ecto Crawl. So sometimes when you buy your injectors, I only got this for my dual injector, but Bass Tackle sends you worm oil. And with this container, all I do is take it, squeeze it, pull it back out to oil my injector. That gives me enough. And just pull it up and down. And if you get so much, it'll come out back through the nozzle. And if you think that's wasteful, then shoot it into your plastic, because it's an ingredient in your plastic, and that's not enough to change the fact about it. So like that right there, I'll just there was hardly even enough in that. It actually landed on my Ecto Crawl. But stir some of that glitter up. And if you don't have a vacuum chamber, that is a way you could get all your bubbles out, is by doing that. Almost a full injector, which should get all of these molds. There's the Ecto. There's the Ned. There's the curly tail. I could get another one, but I don't have another one ready, so. At this rate, I might be able to do the other two in one shot. Because luckily the watermelon red, or watermelon seed, whatever, only needs these 5 molds, the leech, Yeah. I feel like I might be missing one. I might be missing one, but that's all it needs, so. Oh, and I did say earlier I was going to get core shots out. So these are just, they have string cut black on the outside, and then on the inside they have square cut chartreuse flake. And those are core shots. Or right beside it I have my apparently channel cat bait. I caught a channel catfish with that somehow. 15-inch. Ouch! The injector's hot. The whole thing's actually hot. Your nozzle is always the hottest, and I think it feels hotter because of the pattern on it. It has like that waffle pattern. There we go. That's fine. Now it's not fine because it doesn't want it. There we go. Come on. Alright, antifreeze is ready for more molds. Green pumpkin will be ready soon. At least I think it's ready. Yeah, I'd say so. And I just stirred a buttload of bubbles in that, but it needs curly tail and Ned crawl. So which means I need to demold those now. Come on. I can't turn on donations yet. So you're talking about the super chat or something like that, I think. I have to have 500 subscribers. 500 subscribers to do that. But thanks for asking. That actually, nobody's actually asked that before, so. So there's the demold there. But if you do want to donate, start telling people about this channel, and we'll be able to reach 500 quicker. We jumped by, I think, 10 yesterday. We went from 313 to 323. And for pictures, I only keep one of these. I don't know, I just think it looks better with just one of these. I just threw that back in. Well, that's fine, it can stay up. But there's also a little bump on that tail for a little bit more weight. I don't know, I like the action better with a little bit more weight on there, but it's kind of like a wide, slower. So I'm working on a website. That's what all these are for, is for pictures. These are all the official colors I'll have. I'm hoping by around May 24th is what I'm shooting for to get website launched. And these will be all of the colors that you can get in certain molds. I have a bunch of crappie colors. And then, hold on. Let me get this set up here. For the launch of, sorry, I bumped the camera. For the website launch, there will be a limited time color. I have like 6 cups of this color. It's all my dual injection remelts, like you can see down there, some stuff. But it's just dual injection remelts. So when you do a laminate, you have the 2 colors set. Well, you have these. And it's just all that mixed up into a color. I have somewhere around 6 cups of that right now. Thank you. I'll be looking out for a similar name or the same name on orders when I get that launched. I'm hoping to do a live stream tomorrow too, probably around 7 o'clock. That was way too long of time. I just jumped, the car drove by. I wasn't paying attention. So if it looked like I just like scared myself to death, yeah, that's because I just jumped. So Oops. Come on, give me my mold back. Uh-oh, I might have scratched my mold. Oh, no, I did. Oh, you can barely tell. It's in line with their logo. Sweet. Alright, this is one of the best molds of this color. Right there. Oh, yeah. I can't wait to throw that. I haven't thrown this yet. More fishing footage coming soon. Already got one up. Although that one's not that good. Last time I forgot a part to my GoPro, so I couldn't film perfectly with my GoPro, which kind of drove me insane, but let me get all this melted back up. That way I have enough plastic. Oh. And then the antifreeze is ready. Thank you for that. Crawl looks good. I have one that I think is the all-time best in that crawl, which I'll get. I don't think I can. No, I don't have my tackle box with me, so I can't pull that out. But that will probably be tomorrow's live stream that I do that color. I did a YouTube short on matching the color. It was an old remount, and I matched it, and it just looks awesome in that crawl. And then yesterday on a live stream, I did a remount to start it. That way when everybody was getting on, I was already doing stuff. It was this, which might be a future, after the website gets launched, kind of official color. I think it just looks really cool. It has like a pink highlight feel to it. Feel. I meant to say look. You can't feel a color, but come on. C-clamps never give me this much trouble until I'm filming. Even if I'm filming a video, which I haven't done in a while. I still have one that's in the making because I haven't got eyeballs. It was an airbrush of a glide bait. And I am trying to do one of recent airbrush work of topwater darts, 4-inch fishing. I have 3 of them, and I've just been fishing with them. Wait until I get something caught on them. That way I can put that up. Alright, so here goes the antifreeze. Injector's ready. And then we'll demold the ecto crawl after this. Antifreeze in the Ned crawl and in the curly tail worm. I call it a curly tail worm because its tail is short. It doesn't have a big long like ribbon tail, so I call it a curly tail. If you want to argue over it not being a curly tail, go ahead. You're going to be arguing with yourself because I'm just not even going to care. Oh, there we go. Little blue piece down in my injector. I wanted to get it out. Alright, so set that aside. Here comes the Ned crawl. I need to get those baits out of the water before they lose their color. If you leave your baits in for like more than 15 minutes, they can start fading, I've noticed. Just because the moisture gets to them. Oh man, that mold is. There we go. Oh yeah. So let's get this. Okay, so the dye, sometimes if you search dye, it doesn't work as well. It works better with pigment. But I would say for starting, if you're starting on making like bass baits and stuff, I would say, go to Lureworks. Now, if you want bright colored like crappie baits, go to Dead On Plastics. They have good neons and some morph pigments, which like earlier I had one on here. I just buried it, but I need to, there we go. So like this bait is brown to blue. You can see down there, blue. That's also Dead on Plastics. Dead on Plastic is where I get all my plastic. And then molds are basically just, molds are easy to get. I'd say starter molds, Angling AI. But it also depends on what you want. Like if you want crappie and ice bait molds, probably Fat Guys Fishing will have your cheapest, widest selection, and they're still good quality molds. I just hit the wrong button. Like here's an ice bait mold. I want to say this is $80 or $90 for a 3/4 inch duster with all that venting. That's a good deal for a mold like that. 20 cavity. Then you got this one. This micro hog I think is 100 for a 1-inch micro hog, 14 cavity, which is also a good deal. They have some molds that are like $75, and they're ice baits that look good. You're welcome for the advice there. Leave that closed. D-molds. I still haven't got those baits out of the water. I'm going to screw this up if I don't get them out. After these D-molds, they're going out. Ned crawl. Oh yeah, that's also a really, I think the Ned crawl, if you're unsure about a color, you just get your Ned crawl out, shoot it in that. That way, when you do it in anything else, you're like, oh yeah, that color looks good. Just because it could look terrible in the other molds, but once you see it in this one, it just looks good. So it makes any color look good. Hopefully tomorrow I can take some pictures of these. That way I don't have to keep worrying about them and curing them wrong and making the photo garbage, which is pretty hard to do, but I've managed to do that before. I made a 7.5-inch swim bait have a kink in its tail by accident. Don't ask how I did that, but I did. Alright, 4-inch curly tails. And one thing I don't like about this mold, it's a little thing, but where its tail ends, it has a deep vent into a hole for the air to flow out, and it always leaves these little like droplets at the end, although they pop right off, so just go around it and pull them off. Alright, so there's those. Alright. Okay. Now I have the green pumpkin, which needs... Oh, okay. I'm lost because stuff's still in water. Let me get those out real quick. That way I can tell where I'm at. Alright, so the green pumpkin needs these two molds right here. Which also needs 30 seconds, which hopefully is enough time for me to clamp these molds real quick. Alright, there we go. Come on. There we go. I do have smaller little cardboard pieces that make it easier, but I can't find them, so. Easier for the big mold. Come on. Let me. There we go. Here's one side of this whole thing. Almost knocked over a mold. Well, you know what? This one's nice and smooth. I don't think it'll matter. Oh, that just hurt me clamping that like that, but I'll get over it. Alright. So here goes some spicy green pumpkin. That actually flows better off your tongue instead of spicy green pumpkin. Everybody at home, try saying spicy green pumpkin. 5 times fast. Spicy green pumpkin, 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 spicy green pumpkin. Yeah, I have practiced that. Spicy green pumpkin. Believe it or not, I don't practice that. There we go. Okay, so there's a green pumpkin, spicy green pumpkin. Pretty sure I just shot a piece of hot plastic into the water somehow. It flung off the injector. Oh, okay. That was all the plastic in that. Almost all the plastic in the Pyrex cup. There we go. Get off the injector. There we go. Okay. We might be able to finish up the watermelon red. Hopefully. So those 2 molds need to cool down. The watermelon red needs shot in 3 molds, which we have just enough plastic to do. Antifreeze, 1, 2, 3, 4 is done. Green pumpkin is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 done. Alright, so green pumpkin needs to move out of my way. Where? Who knows? Up on the grill sounds good. Oh, the antifreeze is not done. Darn it. Oh, sorry, I bumped the camera. Antifreeze has to go in crappie baits too. But that's alright. That can wait a little bit. That can wait till tomorrow. Probably morning. I won't live stream that, but. So, 2.5 minutes till we have watermelon red. Okay, ouch, 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 ouch. You know your injector's hot when your remount puck is less than 1/4 inch. In winter, your remount puck is like 1/2 inch and above, for me anyway. Now, if your remount puck is more than 1.5 inches, you need to heat your injector up because, or hold less pressure and keep moving. Just gotta wait for that one. So to the one that said they're gonna buy some baits, or he's gonna buy some baits when this comes out, or when website goes up, have you ever seen this in a store? I'm calling that toxic. It's just purple with chartreuse square flake in it, and chartreuse with purple flake in it. I have that in all the like bass bait molds, if you will. Same with a leech. Yeah, that was a fun color. That's with a dual injector, and you take the cross member out. You take this piece out, which holds the 2 top like that. So I've actually caught a, I think it was a little 8-inch. It was late night, like, I think it was 8:50. It was dark out. Last cast of the night, and little 7-inch largemouth comes out of nowhere and grabs that bait on the crawl. Oh, did you just order dye from Lureworks? And thanks for saying those are killer baits. Oh, but then with that cross member, oh, sorry, I bumped the camera. You just pulse the top of your dual injector fast back and forth. That way it swirls it, kind of. What dye did you get from Lureworks? Oh, Lureworks also has really good glitter. I probably should have said that. And bait bags. That's where I get that kind of stuff from. But Dead on Plastics has some cool looking glitter. And Barlow's Tackle has some cool glow in the dark and chameleon glitter. And they also have regular glitter, but I think they have Lure Craft glitter. Lure Craft, not crap. If it sounded like I said crap, that's not what I said. Alright, let's get these molds clamped. Where is my clamp piece? Oh no. That's a good way to scratch your mold, genius. Oh, okay. Maker's Dozen's a good... They didn't have that when I started. And if they did, I definitely didn't see it. Okay, apparently we're using sandpaper instead of cardboard because I lost my cardboard chunk. Oh, that's because it's still on a mold. .600 grit sandpaper as protection. Shouldn't do any damage. And then what else did I need? Oh, Ecto. One of the little wing nuts for it. Uh-oh. There we go. And that's going to go back in for Hi to Bear Dog. That needs 30 more seconds to pop those bubbles. Sorry, that was extremely loud. That was unnecessary, but fun. And then after the demold of these 5 molds, we will be done for tonight. And we'll be back tomorrow, so. So, first you're gonna need... Oh, well, tell me this. What kind of fishing do you like doing the most? And I can help the best. Whatever kind of fishing you do the best, I'll be able to help you the most. Well, I'll be able to give you the best advice. So once I get the answer to that question, bass fishing. Is the other one bass fishing too? Ooh. Okay, so I'm going to do the bass first. So you're either going to probably want a crawl or a worm, because that's probably going to be the most common. So if you just want a generic stick worm, go to Bass Tackle and get one of their stick worms. They have 5, 4, and 6 inch. They're a 4 cavity. They're low cavity count, cheap mold. They're like $87, but they're a good mold. So that will get you that. Now, if you're going for a crawl, I'd probably say the Angling AI Punch Crawl, or Punch Bug, or the Angling AI Ecto Crawl. Unless you want a smaller one than the Epic Bait Molds Ned Crawl. Now, for crappie, well, this also applies to bass. If you like a 1 3/4 inch curly tail, you're going to want the BA kicker tail from Fat Guys Fishing, which is going to be where you want all your crappie stuff from, in my opinion. Unless you want the crappie Slayer from Epic Bait Molds. But this is just a normal minnow body with a little paddle on the end of the tail, which gives it a fast twist action, like a spiral action. And here is what that looks like. It's that 1 3/4 inch, that little paddle. It just stretches out and twists through the water. Or if you want micro hogs, tadpoles are one of my personal favorite. Like, they're a versatile bait. I got 14-inch largemouth on them, crappie on them. This exact color right here, and this exact, well, not this exact one, but this exact bait, 1.3-inch tadpole from Fat Guys Fishing, 15-inch channel cat. But they also have the micro hog, which is that thing right there. ice bait molds, but they're all going to be the cheapest ones. So, like, that curly tail one, I think it's $125 for a 14-inch, which is a good price, especially for the quality. For some of their molds, it's actually like $83 for crappie, and they have whole sections on it. You can search any shape, size, and some of their bigger molds actually have smaller versions of them for that. Here's a D mold. So once you pick out your mold, I would always say this, World's Worst Fishing says the same thing, Chris Jones. Get the biggest injector you can afford. I would say Bass Tackle, top of the line injectors, and they have good price for their injectors. Because you'll get more molds. This is an addicting hobby, and it kind of can be expensive and it cannot be expensive. But so I have a 6 ounce, so I can get a decent amount of molds. And then your plastic. So for crappie, you're either going to want Dead On Plastic's worm blend. You're going to want the sinking. You don't want the floating. That's for specialized kind of, if you're getting real experimental. But so you're going to want the worm, or for bass, I would say swim bait, jerk bait blend, which is the medium, because it works for a bunch of different molds. That's what I'm using right now for all these molds. But worm is slightly softer, so you might get more twitching action and stuff out of your, thank you for they look awesome. Might get more like twitching action, and like if you take the rod and tap it out of your crappie baits. But that's why I would say worm. It's still tough, because those little things, some of them get little kind of sharp teeth, not sharp teeth, but abrasive teeth that will destroy your bait. And I would say, if you can, get a 50 gallon, or not a 50 gallon, geez, oh Pete's, get a 5 gallon bucket, which is probably going to run you about $150. So you're in Brazil, I'm assuming is what the Brazilian flag is for. If I can see that right, I think that is. So if you can get a 5 gallon, it'll be the best, because then you can basically run wild. And you're just going to need Pyrex cups. And then cheap butter knives from Amazon, like a 12 pack or whatever, and you can just use that to stir, and then plastic peels right off the edge. And you can always remount stuff. So like if these didn't turn out right, I could just throw these all back in and remount them. But it's pretty easy to start. Chris Jones, World's Worst Fishing, has an entire start guide on it. I'm hoping to make one of my own eventually. But I want to get that bass tackle worm mold before I do one, because I kind of want to do one specialized to bass fishing, one specialized to crappie, and one specialized to like ice fishing, or I can do big game fish. But that's what I would say for that. If that was helpful, please say that was helpful, and if that made no sense, please also say that made no sense. So was that helpful to you guys who wanted to know that? Or do I need to, like, not dumb it down, but redo that because I was talking too fast? Alright, so good, that was helpful. Thank you. I'm not experienced in brim fishing. So, what do you mainly use for brim right now? Right, I'm saying that right, brim. And they're a freshwater, well, are they a freshwater fish? Yeah, I'll say the websites again. I'll also put links in the description after I'm done with this, and it post. I don't know when it will go up. YouTube's a little funny on that, but Should go up tonight sometime. It was Loreworks, Dead on Plastics, Loreworks, Dead on Plastics, Fat Guys Fishing, over here. So you got Loreworks. Dead on Plastics is that one. Angling AI is that one. Fat Guys Fishing is that one. And then Epic Bait Modes is that one. And then Bass Tackle. Just Bass Tackle, one word. Will get you your injectors and that worm mold. So brim is usually crickets. I would say go to Fat Guys Fishing and check out their crappie or small bait modes, because they have one that looks like a dragonfly that looks really cool. It's a system, so you actually can make the wings, and I think you can make the tail separate too. And then all that, it's like a little 2-inch, 1-inch dragonfly or mayfly, I don't remember what they call it. And Fat Guys Fishing also has some pigments. And for panfish, I would say get your pigments from Dead on Plastics. They have really bright neons. And for bass, Loreworks would be a good start. Same with the glitter. Glitter's also Loreworks. But once you get on those websites, just look around, think about it. Think about what you could use that mold for and everything. And think about it for at least probably a week before you just buy a mold. Because I just looked at a salmon egg mold. This is literally my first mold, which was terrible first mold. 1/2-inch salmon egg, 50 cavity. A worm is way easier. Worms, like their plastic around 330 and slow injection. So you're also going to need a little laser thermometer thingy, and that will get you your temperatures, but you want to stir it while you use that because you don't want just the surface temp. Where was I going with that? All your plastic has to reach over 350 degrees. So I would say bring it, for your first cup, bring it to 360. That way you're sure, because if you don't, you'll stay on the gel line and it will just be sticky and it will never cure the whole way. Like when they cure, they're actually a little bit harder than what they were when you started. So you gotta let them cure, but you'll get the hang of it. It takes a little bit to get started. So that cover everything before I end this, because I gotta end this fairly quickly here. So I'll just wait for you guys to say if I covered it really well, or if I need to explain it one more time, explain a little bit more. And I can also explain it a little bit more tomorrow. I should be doing a live around 7 o'clock, so p.m. Eastern time. Alright, thank you to watching. Thank you to y'all who have watched, especially for this long. And hopefully you enjoyed. And